right in the middle of October, and one of the big things that is floating around the one of the big things that is floating around in the art world online is Inktober. Inktober is a month-long study in the use of ink as your creative medium. Some people are using pens, some are using brushes, some of the illustrations are in color, and some are just totally grayscale or even just good old black ink. But the only main rule is that you have to use ink. But just like most things, I had all of these grand intentions of drawing every day for Inktober. But October, it got a little crazy busy for me. There were shows and commissions and all kinds of other projects. I'm not unhappy about that, but it did kind of put a hitch in my Inktober giddy-up. So I have decided to do one big Inktober project, and I wanted to base it on the idea of creativity. Did you know creativity is for everyone? So many times when I'm either drawing in public or working at my art booth at a show, I hear people put down their own abilities. They say, "Oh, I could never do that," or "I'm just not good at being creative." Or the worst that I hate hearing is, "Well, you just make me never want to even try." That is quite possibly the worst thing that you could say to me, because the last thing I want people to walk away from my art feeling is that they never want to try to be creative. People will say, "Well, how long have you been doing this?" And I always tell them, "Well, I'm 42 and I've been doing this for about 40 years, so I better be good at it." That is the key to creativity. You have to work at it. You have to study and learn the skills. So yes, I was probably born with a certain skill set that pushed me in that direction, but I would have never reached where I am if I hadn't taken the time to learn about shape and form and value, and just to study really about art and drawing. I think so many people are unhappy and lost these days because they have removed the act of creating from their lives. It's almost as if the act of creativity is just thought to be something for the really young or for the old. Kids get to be creative because kids get to play and have fun, although with the cutbacks in art education, that aspect for children is in danger. And people who have already finished their careers, they're retired, they aren't working a 9 to 5, they get to take classes or just spend time in these areas that foster their creativity. But there's a lot of people that are in the middle that are floundering. This demographic isn't growing or fostering their creativity and continuing it from when you were young till when you were old, and it's leaving a big hole in a lot of people's lives. I am a big proponent of making and doing things yourself. Way back before everything was made or done for us, before things were mass produced, people had to create things for themselves if they wanted to have them. We need a table to eat at. Okay, go chop down the tree, plane some boards, and let's make one. Or, I need a blanket because it's getting cold. Okay, let's sew these scraps of fabric together, and we can arrange them in a pretty design because we like to look at pretty things. So you may think that all of these activities were just out of necessity, but there was still an act of creating. It grew out of a need for tangible things, and once you start to grow that ability in you, inspiration is going to follow. You'll start getting ideas all over the place, but they won't happen overnight. You have to work at it and pour time into it if it's something you want to have in your life. And believe me, you need it in your life. And it doesn't just have to be painting or drawing. It can be music or cooking or sewing or crocheting and knitting, weaving, woodworking, gardening, or dance. Creating in any form is a holy process. Every human is creative. Every religion has some sort of creation belief. And we are all fashioned by the great creator. So how can we believe that that same ability does not live in us? Some people just haven't found their process yet. So I encourage you to get out there and be creative. And if you're still a bit nervous about starting a project, why not just start with coloring? And a great way to do that is to sign up for my newsletter. When you do, you will have a coloring page ready to inspire your creativity sent to you in your email. I am really happy with the way this collection of drawings turned out. I'm thinking of eventually putting them together into a small booklet about creativity. I think that I'll probably leave them blank so that you can color them in and really exercise that creative process for yourself. So be on the lookout for those in my Etsy shop soon. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you are successful in finding your creative process, or that you at least start testing out what areas you think will work best for you and that you will most enjoy. And remember, it is a process, so you have to give it longer than just one try. Let me know in the comments below how you're going to exercise your creative spirit. I'll see you later.